keep Riven at bay. However, we do have a gank in the bot lane. Sid a little bit slow. Not a lot coming from that. Yeah, now that you mention it, I really want to fix this.
Yeah, so I know this is going to be a little bit tough situation for you to put right here because the Sunfire Cape on the Renekton so early on finished already compared to nothing that's been completed for Riven right now. It's going to be a huge disadvantage behind lane, especially with how much bullying that Renekton can do as of right now in the game. But it's very surprising to not see a first blood yet.
Well, as you say that, we actually did have first blood. We saw Saros going to the top lane to gank Renekton, and Renekton actually picking up Udipone for the first blood. Saros did pick up one as well to make the kills even at one apiece, and then Rainbrain picked one up, and Oppaman picked one up in the mid lane. In the bot lane, however, that will be Gorilla picking up. Alistar barrier coming out, so RKP's not going to be able to pick up a kill. Might be able to pick one up on Leona here. Has to take a tower hit to do it. The flash coming out will pick it up. Taking the tower for a really long time. Will be still alive. Okay, we talked about getting crazy. That was 6 kills and a tower in about 2 minutes.
That's what I said. It's going to be a very explosive first fight coming out there. But the first blood did go to Renekton, am I correct?
Yeah, yes it did.
So that's another couple of hundred more goals for Renekton right there. That's not very good coming out saying that, you know, Saros actually moved up to the top lane and tried to gank and failed the gank. Did get a kill off of it, but lose first blood to Renekton. Oh, Renekton, who has already been ahead in lane,
right?
But so many kills coming out from that short amount of time, all of a sudden in the game.
Well, and it allowed Renekton to also finish his Ninja Tabby against that Riven, which is going to give him more armor, more defense against those auto attacks. And Riven, Udiproid actually opting for those cooldown reduction boots, still sitting with just a pickaxe and 2 longswords. So, for the time being, look for Afro to just kind of be a bully in this top lane.
Yeah, your stream is still lagging a lot, and so it's okay. I mean, we can kind of, work through that, but
let's see if I can go away that thing. You do this. All right, this is kind of cool. Keep on going, stream. It's one of these buttons. Let me... Question is, will it work?
Mine stays offline.
Yeah, give it a second.
Okay.
Give it a second.
I mean, you can stream, like, you have the password and everything, right?
Yeah, it's just the stream key. Let me...
Okay, it's on.
But I don't have the ability to change, like, the title and stuff. So...
Right. I've changed it already, so I think that's fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm opening this. That's muted. Okay. The question is, I don't know if you can... Okay, it looks like you can see something. The question is, I don't know how my quality settings are, but we'll deal with that later.
It looks fine from my side, though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Toriaizu. Toriaizu! Hey, everybody. Good evening. We are super professional here at JCG. This is the JCG Premier League Season 1. What is this, Ferlin? This is not Season 1. This is Season...
It's the 2014 Season 1 Premier League, and it's the semifinals. Semifinals number 1, so it's one of the 2 semifinals, and we have Detonation Focus Me versus the 2014 or 13 Grand Champions Rascal Justice on the other side.
How fantastic. So yeah,
Yep.
It should be exciting. Yeah, so we are going to jump in. I know it's really hard. I don't know where you are, what people are so clued in on, but yeah, as you just said, it's Detonation FM, Rascal Jester. We're playing on the Korean server, so we've been having a lot of fun navigating through the Korean League of Legends client tonight, and getting everything ready to go, but we were scheduled for an 8:30 start. We should... look like we'll be starting very, very shortly here at 8:40, which is right now. So,
right, because I'm sure if you guys are on the NA server, we have a little bit of an issue today with the servers, and so we will we hopefully jumping back to the NA service in the next time we stream, but for today we will be playing on the Korean service. So very excited because Riot actually gave us a couple of accounts to play it on, and it's all on like level 30s and have all the champions and runes. But here you go, we're jumping into game. I'm pretty sure I have like a 20 seconds lag, so you gotta tell me what's happening.
Not a problem. So we are actually jumping into the game here. Yeah, my leg might actually be terrible, so we need to get your client updated. But in any case, the first band's coming out. It's actually a Kha'Zix band. No surprise there. Nobody wants to see Kha'Zix. He's just so strong right now. And actually, this one will blow your mind, Ferlin, because the second band coming out of Rascal Jester was Singed.
Yeah, I think I have the same time, so there's no lag at the moment. But I think once the game starts, there will be a couple of lags going on. I do see the Singe band. I think this is definitely going to be not a meta band. It's going to be a player band. So DTFM Doria actually plays a lot of Singe, and so we just want to take that out, not to give it away.
Right.
So it's a good band coming from them, but I do see a lot of meta bands going to come out soon. Look at that, the Yasuo is going to come out.
Yeah, Yasuo coming out. You know, he got nerfed, quote, lost 100 range on his ultimate, and takes a little bit longer to fill up his flow meter, but...
Right, and also, we are playing the live patch, so this is the 4.2 patch. If anybody is wondering, this is the 4.2 patch, this is the live patch, and so a lot of nerfs coming out, so Thresh is banned out. I don't know, he's still very, very viable in this patch, but obviously his range was completely nerfed, and so poking with Thresh is a little bit more harder this time around. But a Gragas and a Kassadin ban, obviously we don't see any big surprise there. Kassadin has been banned, out, I think about 100% banned for all the pro leagues out there, whether it be the LCS, or the OGN, LPL, or GPL. Kassadin has been banned 100% all the time, and I do look forward to seeing the first pick coming out from DTFM. Hopefully, I would say probably a Elise, maybe.
Well, you would be absolutely wrong because that first pick has been locked in, and it is Vi.
I agree, because Vi is something that Sid as well as NLAce is not playing today is very, very comfortable on. The two of them, the top jungle picks for them will definitely be the Vi or the Jarvan, but Jarvan has kind of just dropped out a little bit, and Pantheon has come into favor. But Vi has been a big top pick for both DTFM as well as RJ jungler players.
Right. So you mentioned that Sid kind of looking to play that Vi champion. Another one, like you mentioned as well, he's strong with is Elise, and because that Vi pick came out first, Elise actually now going over to Rascal Jester. So they're going to lock in Elise and Sivir. A couple of really interesting early picks. Not surprised on the Elise. Sivir pick coming out a little bit early. It'll be interesting to see how RKP plays on that Sivir, although I think that's one of RKP's favorite champions as well. So we'll have to see how that goes down.
Yeah, and right. So obviously Sivir is really, really good. She has a really, really short range early on, but she can combine her on the hunt with so many different other champions. Obviously, DTFM is not going to go with the Vayne pick, but they are going to lock in that Lucian. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to Leona Lucian. So
yep, and that Leona, it did actually just get locked in now, so... it will be Lucy and Leona. LL, larger than life in the bot lane down there. We do actually see Mob play a lot of this Leona. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of Ma's Leona. We'll have to see. He spends a lot of time actually all over the map. So it'll be interesting to see if he does that again. Against that Sivir, though, what do you...
It depends on what... support player this RJ want to pick up. If they do pick up the Thresh, it's going to be a little bit more harder.
Well, how are they going to pick up Thresh if he's banned?
Oh yeah, okay, so no Thresh there. So I would say that DTFM's bot lane would have a slightly early advantage compared to RJ. It really depends on what they're going to pick. If they're going to pick up that Annie, then I would say, yes, DTFM might struggle a little bit more because Annie has range and positioning. Like, she can flash tubers out really easily. But I would say, for now, DTFM's bot lane will be good to go until early level 6.
All right,
and they do see them picking up their Renekton out there, so still very, very strong. Oh! Alistar!
Yeah, so I actually think that's a really nice pick, especially against that Leona. The Sivir spell shield's going to be able to keep Leona off you, and when she does manage to get through and come on you, then Alistar basically says, well, it's not a shield, but I'm going to knock you out of here. Get away. So I like that pickup, especially because of the short range from on Sivir. And so you have to be kind of close to fight anyway. So Alistar really lets you dictate that bottom lane tempo in terms of do you want to fight, do you want to disengage. Not
Yeah.
something we've been seeing a lot of recently, to be
You don't
honest.
don't see
So
a lot of side because it's hard to play, especially when you're in a combo or the stuff. But on the other side, we do have DTFM picking up both Riven and the LeBlanc. It's not been locked in yet, but Riven has been nerfed. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that this is on a live patch and Riven has been nerfed. So I don't know if they really want to lock that in, especially if you're going to play against a Renekton who can really bully you out of your lane early on. And if you look at DTFM right now, they are looking at a very strong early game as well. So I don't know if that Riven would be a good pick against a Renekton. But LeBlanc is always really good, and so Apperman can now see if she wants to counter the LeBlanc and play something that is he's very comfortable in. Maybe a Gragas is banned out, so maybe an Orianna or even a Zix will be really, really fun to play with because he can really bully LeBlanc out early game as well. And wave clear after wave clear is so important for Zix right now.
yeah, now it'll be interesting to see. For those of you unfamiliar with the Japanese League of Legends scene, Rascal Jester's kind of big cornerstone to their whole team is Appaman. He's the AP middle character, and actually looks like he's going to be picking up Orianna, which is one of his absolute top level champs. So that it's interesting to see that come down to the last pick because that's going to have really a lot to say about how they plan on running this team. And with an Orianna pick, I do like that. A lot of lockup already on your team with Renekton stuns, Elise, Cocoons, Alistar, and now a Orianna ult to put everybody together as well.
Yeah, like I said just now, I think he would go with Oriana, and he definitely is going to lock in that Oriana because it's going to work really well if you're going to put that Alistar there, because you can really push Alistar into the team fight and have Oriana's ultimate to lock up everyone in that game. And obviously Renekton is going to come with a Dominus and just ruin the back line, which is going to be Dilution.
All right. So it'll be also interesting to see Saros running that LeBlanc, which is not something we've seen from him. I'm interested to see how that goes. A couple other notes to point out. I am very, very scared. Obviously, everybody always is when Vi hits level 6. It's almost always a kill. And with a Leona at level 6, a Vi level 6, doesn't matter if you have your spell shield as Sivir. That's free kills in bot lane, really, if you don't play smart down there. That'll be interesting. And actually, do you see what I see right now? I don't know if you can see what I see. I was asking that as like a hypothetical, but you might not actually be able to see this yet. We talked about this a little bit just moments ago. This is Ferlin Yoshimi on the other end, and I am Corey Swanson. And we're really sorry. We're like really all over the place tonight because usually we're in studio, and it's been snowing all over Tokyo for the last week, and so we're actually in the comforts of our own apartments, kind of doing this ad hoc. But you talked about this. Normally for Detonation FM, Gorilla 13 is the top laner, and Udiproid or Udipone is the AD carry. However, you mentioned maybe Udiproid was switching roles, and it looks like he will be playing that Riven today.
Yeah, so there have been rumors going on that Udipone wants to move onto the top lane because he finds that he can have a bigger impact on the top lane, considering the current meta right now that, a lot of EU players believe that AD carries cannot carry anymore. But at the same time, top laners right now has been so tanky with that meta right now that, it's more of a support than a carry when it comes to top laner, but maybe Udiproid has a different idea of how the Japanese players can change that meta for themselves. But he's gonna top lane and he's very comfortable with the Riven, whether or not she is nerfed or not. He's very comfortable with that pick. But on the other hand, I do like RJ's RJ's team comp. I do like that Alistar pick, just to knock someone over, and whether to disrupt the team or to catch someone out. It's really important for Alistar to come in and to hit that combo for RJ's team composition right here.
Yeah. So we talked about kind of the maybe the best player for Rascal Jester being Appleman. Detonation FM arguably definitely Udiproid in that best player position. It'll be interesting now with him in the top lane because RKP for Rascal Jester is also a very, very strong AD carry. And then when we had the championships last month, he looked really, really good down in that bot lane. And honestly, I think maybe overshadowed Udiproid a little bit when Udiproid was not playing Vayne. So I'm really interested to see here how Gorilla's going to fare in that lane because this is not. I've never seen Gorilla play AD carry, to be honest.
Yeah, neither have I. So I'm really excited to see how his Lucian is going to impact the game. If he falls back, it's not going to be very good for DTFM, considering that there are slightly of an easy pick coming up because Vi's going to be really important. But if Gorilla actually loses position and he misses out on positioning, it's going to be really bad for Destination FM when it comes to that big team fights because they have so many not assassins but backline champions coming out from RJ. You have Renekton that can really just with that double dash going all the way to the backline and just kill off Gorilla really fast. And so
All right.
they have to make sure they get the position well.
I'm going to interject here really quick. I apologize if the stream does something crazy. I was not expecting to stream from my computer tonight, so it's going to take me a second to make sure we do have the game on stream here. So if you've got a black screen, which you probably do, bear with us for just a second as I'm going to get that all sorted out and ready to go. So talk about something interesting, Ferland.
Yeah, so I apologize again. This is Ferlin Yoshimi and Corey Swanson. We are here at the JCG Season 1 2014 Premier League, and it is going to be DTFM Destination Focus Me versus Rascal Justice. Unfortunately, we always play on the NA server, but due to the unforeseen circumstances that's coming up from Riot's North American servers today, we've decided to play on the Korean servers, which Riot very nicely gave us a couple of accounts to play on with all the champions, all the runes, obviously. And I was supposed to stream from my computer today because but due to my computer being really, really nice to me, I can only stream from the second game, hopefully. And we've decided not to stream from studio today because of the snow that has been going crazy in Tokyo lately. We had about 30 centimeters of snow last week, and it's been snowing again today and yesterday, and so we can't get to the studios. But yes, we are playing DTFM versus Rascal Justice.
Yay! All right, we have League on the screen. So this is sorry, that's also your name. For those of you wondering, it is Ferlin Yoshimi. Congratulations. Sorry about that. We are in game here. We're gonna pause it because of something. I don't know what's going on. Who knows?
I have no idea. I'm watching from your stream too. So
I know you need to.
yes.
You really need to get that Korean client updated and.
I do need to get it's at 65%.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I probably do have a short lag from your plays because now mine says 29 minutes and 50 seconds.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을
Yeah.
환영합니다.
Well, we are in game here for JCG League of Legends. This is Rascal Jester going to be on the purple side and Detonation FM on the blue side. Actually, which do you know how to? I don't know how to read Korean, so I was going to say I could try and set color mode, but I don't even.
Nope.
I don't
Unfortunately, I do speak a couple languages, but Korean is not one of them.
And I don't change my client enough in the English version to actually know where that option is. So.
Looks like we're going back into game.
Yeah, that's what you think, but we're actually paused again. So I will let you know when we do get started here. For the time being, we are going to make sure everybody is in game. Nothing too special coming out here. A couple sweepers on Detonation FM sides. Rascal Jester all opting for the warding totem instead over there. And a pretty standard Japanese level 1 start, which entails standing on your side of the map, not doing a whole lot of anything. So 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Oh, we are? Okay, I do have a little bit of lag, but obviously now with the current how the level 1 plays goes is everybody's going to be on either side of the river just to make sure you don't have wards putting down and everything. So there's no more level 1 engages like we see in Season 2 and Season 3. So Season 2014 is much less the same. You do have the occasional invades, but usually people just stand by on your own side of the river and not have any crazy engages.
So, yeah. So as we get ready to go, I do want to point out that Vi pick again. I talked a little bit about maybe some hurt in the bot lane, but in the mid lane, as soon as Sid does hit 6 on Vi, probably want to look for a gank in the mid lane because it is Orianna. She only has that flash really to get away, and then the damage coming out of LeBlanc as well is just going to be so great that look for maybe an easy kill in that mid lane at level 6.
Yeah, I'm still really scared to do anything because I'm on a lag right now. My game just unpaused, and so I'll probably sound really crazy because I'll be probably commentating on whatever's happened, like when it's happened, like 10 seconds.
Oh, that was not
before.
sound. I'm really stupid. This is hilarious. I really apologize, everybody. I thought I was changing the sound. I was changing the overlay size. This is sound because they have sound. Oh, there we go. Do we usually play with music?
Yes, I mean you have to put on your sound.
Well, not
game sound.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, we're paused again, so it doesn't really matter. No big deals. This is so like ragtag tonight.
It is. Okay, we do. Okay, I probably am on like a 10 seconds lag from you then. Looks like my client is still updating. It's still at 65%.
Are you at a pause right now is the question.
I'm at a pause right now.
What does your pause time say?
28 minutes and 10 seconds.
Wow, no, you're like 30, 40 seconds behind. Because here we go, 3, 2, 1, game start. Both buffs are going to spawn, and you can see both junglers starting on the bottom side of the map. Rainbrain's going to pick up his blue buff, while Sid looks to get the red. And everybody moves into their lane. Here we go, JCG Season 1. This is the, what, semifinals?
Yeah, semifinals 1.
So, it's Okinawa Tigers and who's the other team?
Rampage.
Rampage are in the other one, but today we're watching Detonation FM, Rascal Jester, as we get things underway.
Wow, my game just unpaused. Perfect.
Yeah, I told you, you're a little behind. You're just gonna have to kind of roll with the punches.
I do. I'm just gonna listen to you and just, see what happens.
Yeah, well, not a whole lot going on, just the farm game going on. It'll be interesting to see Udiproid in that top lane as well. You talk about maybe the Riven nerfs. Losing a lot, actually. Went from 5.5 HP per 5 to 2.5 HP per 5, which is a huge health regen nerf. Got 20 extra hit points on her shield, which means as long as you're able to use that smartly, you don't feel maybe the HP regen nerf as much, but it's not always the easiest thing in the world to use smartly, as we see Vi heading into that top lane, Sid looking for a gank.
Yeah, early game, this Riven is definitely going to be on disadvantage because Renekton has very little counters when it comes to early game. He's going to very much bully Udiproid out of lane early game, and so I would say DTFM would be on a tilt early on in early game, but they will be coming back in the mid game, and so I look forward to seeing how DTFM is going to play coming on from mid game, as long as they don't lose too much in the early game.
All right. So we did see Sid trying to maybe look for a gank in the top lane, but instead sweeping that bush, picking the ward up. So now there are no wards in that top lane for either side. Elise actually, Rainbrain on Elise, doing a good job of making his presence known up there as well. And now we might be actually looking for some action in the bot lane. Rascal Jester keeping this lane very pushed. The question is, will Sid be able to get in for a gank? Ping's top coming out as well, just saying, hey, there's a ward here. If you're going to come gank for me, know it's here. But Udipone taking a lot of damage in this top lane. He's down at a quarter of his health. So this is Afro really showing I can bully you now, as we get a flash out of Seros in the middle lane as well. All it was the cocoon.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the middle lane and when you have an Elise at the jungle, you don't want to have that risk of not flashing out. But at the same time, if you flashed out so early, Elise is going to stay in lane. Elise is going to stay around and go for that second gank because that cocoon and that amount of mobility that Elise has is so strong early game, and it is going to be RJ on the assault here early game.
All right, we can actually see Sid dancing around in Rascal Jester's jungle. Level 3 to Rainbrain's level 4 and still doing a pretty good job of harassing him out of his own jungle. There was no response from Appaman there. The ping came down, but Sid will walk away with those wolves as we get a small engage in the bot lane. Little Belt's going in with the headbutt. However, here comes Ma on Leona, jumping onto Sivir. That will keep her away from dealing any damage. However, Rascal Jester, again, keeping the lane really pushed, and in terms of damage, really managing to keep it on Detonation FM, and Ma going in. Rainbrain actually they're looking for a gank, and I don't know if that was just a mistake by Little Belt, but a nice little pushback, putting Ma back into safety. Thank you, Alistar.
Yeah,
you'll see that one in about 30
obviously,
seconds.
obviously, I'm not saying that as you see right there, but Leona is so tanky, even in the early games. That it's always going to be a risk for RJ to jump on that. But at the same time, you have Rainbrain. Even the least early games are so strong, but you don't want to push the lane so far, so much that you risk having Sid coming in as the buy from behind to counter gank you.
And that's almost exactly what we saw. Taking a look again at this top laner. Actually, let's take a look at all the lanes all around the Rift right now. Actually been fairly impressed with Gorilla with getting pushed out of lane by the Sivir, still managing to keep the farm up. Only 38 to Sivir's 47, as we do have another engage out of Ma here. Will it be enough? Sid is close, but Sid is not going to get there in time. And instead, these engages so far out of Ma have really been free damage for RJ. You get engages by Ma, and there's no follow-up, so even with a tanky character like Leona, damage is damage, and she's going to walk back out of lane trying to regen that HP. On the good hand, on one hand though, because Gorilla is on Lucian. Lucian is a lot of burst damage compared to Sivir early game, and so you do need a follow-up, but at the same time, Lucian does have that amount of burst damage that's needed even in early games. Right, and so here I was actually just going to comment on how Yutapone, maybe not the best idea to have sent him in the top lane, but as I say that, they hit level 6, and with his ultimate actually forcing Afro to flash out of that lane as well. So, again, level 6, especially for Riven, is such a power spike level that now he's going to be able to abuse his lane a little bit more as he's now pushed his lane as well. The farm in the top lane, pretty even. Ultimate's down, I believe. Dominus still available for RJ Afro if he decides to use it. But so far, nothing coming, as we do now see Rainbrain again in this bot lane, trying to set something up as RJ continues to push this lane.
Yeah, so far, I don't think we have the first blood yet. I don't know where you're coming from.
8 minutes in, 0-0 so far. However, Sid is down here in the bot lane, could be a counter gank. This could be where first blood happens. Let's see what goes on. Sid is actually level 6. Rainbrain only at level 5, so they do have the Vi ultimate available. Cocoon comes out. A little bit of damage. So much coming on a Gorilla. The barriers used. Under tower. He's going to walk away. The ultimate coming out of Sid. So much damage coming across on RJ, but because Gorilla goes so low at the beginning of that fight, he's not able to put any damage on the rest of the team. So it was a 2v3, Ma and Sid versus Rainbrain, RKP, and Little Belt. But everybody's going to walk away with their lives.
So far, I think we're at the 9-minute mark and still no first blood coming out. So it's going to be a very explosive first blood, or even a bot gank, or a engage onto the dragon, because early game dragon is not worth a lot, but right now that we're moving on to the 10-minute mark, it's going to be a lot more productive to actually go for that dragon when it comes to after the 10-minute mark.
Well, and that was some pretty good play out of Detonation FM again there. Ma hitting 6 is what you saw there, and actually going in for the re-engage. They don't pick up any kills, but again, doing a really good job as we have it going down in the middle lane. Ult's coming out of Appaman. The damage is so strong. Can he get his Ignite down? Looks like it's not up. The Ignite actually coming across on Orianna, and the reason Appaman was not able to get his Ignite down is because he's not actually running Ignite. So both of those mid laners, again, are going to walk away with very little health, and this is turning into a real battle in both the mid and bottom lanes.
Right, so
nobody's able to pick up a kill.
Barrier with this.
Right, which is something you see a lot on Orianna, and especially you want to run against a champion like LeBlanc, who after that kind of rotation burst doesn't have a whole lot of damage to follow it up until their cooldowns come back.
I don't know how the CS is moving right now because I'm not on. But tell me a little bit more how the CS is moving.
All right, well, if you would like to know all about the CS, let's take a look. Up in the top lane, it's 10 in favor of Renekton. Jungle looking pretty even in the mid lane. 6 farm in favor of Oriana's Oppamen. In the bot lane, Sivir's starting to pick up the farm advantage. RKP about 20 farm up on Gorilla's AD carry, Lucy, and I don't know if that's just because it's a role he's not necessarily used to. And of course, support not so important, but Leona has double Alistar's CS at 6-3.
Yeah, I'm not very surprised with all the CS differences coming out. Renekton will definitely have a CS lead over Riven early game, as well as Oriana will definitely. She's such an early game strong laner when it comes to wave clearing, and CS lead for her is not surprised. But obviously, Gorilla coming out with a CS disadvantage is a huge problem for DTFM, considering that he's so new to the role. And on the other side, KBP, I can't remember his name, is so used to playing the AD carry that he's going to have a slight advantage over Gorilla.
Right, and so even with the farm difference in the bot lane, the item builds are exactly the same. So at the moment, they're going to be fairly even in terms of power. We did actually just see a gank in the top lane coming out from Seros. Almost went poorly for Detonation FM. Not a lot of damage coming out of Seros. He only had his Chalice for that gank. A lot of damage coming out from Udiproid, but they weren't able to finish Renekton under tower. Seros taking a tower hit of his own. And again, we still have no first blood. So this is something we've not seen for a while here at JCG. I feel like one of the things that characterizes a lot of the games around here is maybe those early first bloods or early towers. We're 12 minutes into this game. All the towers are here. All the champions are here. As we do see a 3v3 in this bot lane. Wow.
Yeah, your stream is lagging a lot.
Oh, is it?
It's stopping a lot. I don't know if just for me.
Well, see, no, then it's probably for everybody. See, this is what I was saying. I've had this problem and I need to get it set up. I didn't have my stream ready to go.
Yeah.
Which there's some way to fix that, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
It's okay. We'll just go with the punches for game 1 first, and then game 2 I'll jump back in with.
Pause the game, Rascal. Pause the game, Rascal. So I apologize, everybody. Like I said, I am streaming from my home computer right now. Not something I do a whole lot of, and not something I was expecting. There's one of the options. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe I'll take a look at it in a second here. If we get a lull in the action. But there is no lull in the action as we do continue in the bot lane. Lots and lots of damage coming out. RKP now starting to look really strong. They have not stopped pressuring the lane. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it's actually Off-Road picked up and finishing the Sunfire Cape, doing a lot of damage against Udiproid's Riven. Riven still no completed first item for her up there, so for the time being, not Oppamen, Off-Road's going to be able to